This is called opening a train up 101. And the conductor's job is that's what a conductor does. Ownerships of railroad cars are extremely unusual in America. The 3 of the 4 cars that I presently own are from the Ringling Circus, used as house cars up through 2004. Then ultimately I was invited to open a restaurant, and like all of us who cook, we think we can all operate a restaurant. And so I said, sure, and did it. And that led to where I'm at today. My beginning culinary skills were learned when I was a welfare child in West Virginia. I went to live with a family, and they had a feeling that everyone, their children as well as anyone else, should learn how to cook, sew, carpentry, plumbing, electrical, bricklaying, all the skills it took to survive in the world. And so every Saturday, one of us would be appointed to bake all the pies, breads, and cakes for the forthcoming week, plus Saturday night dinner. At the restaurant on Saturdays, we have each month a Circus Saturday. Although it's open to the public, it really is for fun for the circus people to come here, and what they do is they eat a cheap breakfast and drink a lot of coffee, and they sit around and lie to each other. And they're not here so much to eat, they're here to socialize. So it becomes a socializing period of time. And they'll sit around and tell and talk about their different memories from the different shows that they worked on.
I knew Bob, but I found that he does this Saturday morning breakfast for circus people, and it's a way of keeping in touch, and just once a month just getting together and having a little social time and a little camaraderie, and we watch the videos and we talk about old times, and it just keeps me connected with my friends, and he's a good friend. Go in there and you see the photographs of all the wonderful people that we knew and had the privilege of working with. It's wonderful to just go back into those times.
John Ringling North, my dad, and Rudy Bundy all became drinking buddies. And so my dad had spent time on JOMAR, and he spent time on RB66, and those were things that were very close to him. And he knew about the JOMAR, and he knew it was there, but he didn't have the money or the resources to fix it up. And he always wanted to, and he tried to a while back, but it just didn't work. And so he's like, oh, okay, well, I'll leave it be and try to find somebody else who can do it.
JOMAR plus these other 3 cars, plus the more I hope to get very soon, are all going to be part of a dinner train. So yes, it'll be a museum during the daytime, but at nighttime it'll be a place that people can rent for private parties and dinners, and that will be its source of income. Time to open some doors here. Paul Newman and I.
A gentleman came to my dad and was like, well, maybe you should start working on it. He's like, no, I mean, crazy people start with trains. I don't want to deal with trains. And a couple months later, he's like, well, what do you think about restoring? He's like, well, I mean, if you owned it, you could do it, and you would start restoring it, but I mean, it takes so much to restore the JOMAR. And so then it was about, I want to say, a year process of trying to get where the JOMAR used to be set, and it just sat on the tracks for so many years, trying to get it over to this location. And we had to put it on house moving trucks to get it over here.
I happen to be a proud father, and it's drawing done by my daughter. She works at Disney. And of course, my waitress and her trapeze bar from when she was performing with Ringling and other circuses.
It's funny because when I performed on Ringling, I lived on this very train car. And here it is, 20 years later, I'm working on this train.
I love restoration, so I get to restore things. I love history, so I have a huge amount of history. I love circus. I love aviation. I love heavy equipment. So all these different things are all combined into rebuilding a train.
And for Bob to do this, to get it up and running in the shape that it is in, nobody believed that he could do this.
When I lay a 1,000-footer track out here, I will be a Gandy dancer for a period of time. It'll be a whole new thing, and I'll learn how to do that.
You know, he just loves to tell the stories. He loves to, he just loves to keep it going and bring it all back. And it doesn't matter who you are or where you've come from or how you ended up here. He's going to let you know everything that you want to know and probably more than you want to know.
You can have love of life, and I have a love of life, and it doesn't matter what it is.